So what is AuDHD? AuDHD is an unofficial term that represents individuals with autism and ADHD. It was only since 2013 that someone could be diagnosed with autism and ADHD. And since then, we've seen about 80% of people with autism also have ADHD. While AuDHD as a term is a term that represents individuals with autism and ADHD, it is not exactly an official term according to the website Embrace Autism. Check out the website Embrace Autism for all the information you could possibly need to know about autism and ADHD. What are some AuDHD traits? Things like hyperfocus and hyperattention. Differences in how we maintain relationships and how we understand relationships. We might find special interest soothing, but we also might have a lot of special interest or bounce from one to another. We might find routines comforting, but we also might need to change tasks a lot within those routines. This is one that shows up for me a lot, a need to organize and plan, but then difficulty in following through. Mostly because we get overwhelmed. Mostly because I get overwhelmed. Here's another one that shows up for me a lot. Attention to detail, but also prone to mistakes. More severe sensory sensitivities, but also a need for stimulation. Another big thing that shows up for me, certainly at work, is challenges in my daily functions, daily activities, but then also being forgetful in a lot of my daily activities. Another thing that shows up for me as an AuDHD individual is really needing some support on certain tasks and needing some support on the instructions for those tasks. Another big thing that shows up for me, especially at work, is I'm a big ideas thinker. I have tons of big ideas all the time. I'm also analytical in a lot of the things that I do. I'm also quite precise in how I am with my thinking. I also do a lot of associative thinking, associative thought, so I can look at pattern recognition and then through that get really big ideas. But just a lot of big idea generator. But still, I have trouble following through on a lot of those big ideas, or a lot of times those big ideas might give me overwhelm. And yes, while ADHD and autism can coexist, they can also contradict with one another quite a bit in how they show up in certainly my life, and I know just from watching YouTube and TikTok, a lot of other AuDHD lives as well. I love my routines. I sometimes love my repetition, but I also need to break free of my repetition. It can drive me crazy sometimes, but then I need the comforting needs of my routines to help me then self-regulate again and get my overwhelm under control. I love my structure, but then I resent my structure and I need to get free of my structure, but I can find the structure comforting at the same time. Constantly pushing and pulling between loving my structure and hating my structure. At the same time, I love and crave flexibility, and I get really frustrated when somebody isn't flexible, even though I also want routine within that flexibility. If you want to know more about what AuDHD, autism, and ADHD is, I strongly encourage you to check out the website Embrace Autism with a wealth of resources there.